Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to Friday with Friends with Jennifer and I and our special guest Karen today. Jennifer is on the road. The beauty of an online business, hey?
Yeah. We got Felix in the back seat. He's like the cool kid back there. Roll driving.
Hi, Joel.
And I'm riding shotgun.
Yeah, anywhere you have Wi-Fi or data, hey?
Well, definitely data right now because I do not have Wi-Fi in my car.
Yeah.
That's way too expensive. Well,
So
I
you
have
guys are
Wi-Fi.
headed,
It's not connected though.
yeah. So you guys are headed to Manitoba to see family. Tell us about,
Yes.
we'll do your introduction and you can go first.
Okay. My name is Jennifer, and I have been a business owner for 4 years, just about coming up right around the corner here in the new year. And I work from home. I homeschool. Um, we have a blended family. We have two adult children. Our son together is 10, and we have a grandson that's going to be 3 in March. Well, that went by fast. And we love every minute of everything that we do, just designing our days, really. Um, it's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what is 2022 is going to bring in store for us, because 2021 definitely took me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Yes, you just hosted a webinar for the first time.
Yeah, that was fun. As you can see, my eyes get really big.
Is that the sun coming up? Are you driving into the sunrise?
Yes, the sun is coming up. It's shining in
Goodness.
my eyes.
I
It's
bet.
beautiful.
I love it. All right. And so I am Charlene, and thank you guys for joining us. I am a mom to 6, and I have a bonus daughter. Good morning, Wade. Wade is joining us. And I homeschool my children, except for one. He goes to school. And yeah, we have a pretty chaotic life, but I love it. And they are my why for this business. They are why I am here. And so this is why I am here on a live with you guys to share our life and to share our experience within this community. And yeah, and today our special guest is Karen, and Karen is actually my mentor and coach, and I absolutely love her because she is way more than that in my life. She has definitely become family to my kids and I. So welcome, Karen, and thank you for joining us today to discuss your goals and reflections on 2021. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. So thank you, Charlene, and thank you, Jennifer, and your family. It's nice to see your family and you're driving down the road. Yes, we've known Charlene. Actually, I've known Charlene for quite a while now, and we've gotten to know her family, and they call us Auntie. So my name is Karen, and together with my fiance Wade, we have been running our digital business for almost 4 years. 2022 will mark the 4-year mark. And we're celebrating. I'm telling you, we celebrate every time. So Wade is making some comments on here right now. He's in here to
It's a good thing he's in his office, right? He's not within distance.
Yeah. Yeah. Jennifer, you mentioned something about the peanut gallery. So, Wade is going to be the peanut gallery here.
Joel likes to pop in and tell us how he works on the back end too. So.
Yeah. Well, Wade and I both, we both, for the most part, work full-time online. Right now, Wade he takes the odd contract at work, and right now he is working on a contract. So he kind of goes in and out of work, and sometimes he works at home with his other job. But for the most part, we work online, and we're a good team. We work good together, and like you said, Jennifer, there's nothing better than being able to live your life. And the whole idea of working online is that you're creating that passive income, right? And for those people who don't know what passive income is, it's basically you don't have to do as much physical work with your business. It lets automation do some of the work for you. So we're pretty happy. Our little automation bots work well, and we're loving that.
Yeah.
Hello, Aladdin. Thank you for joining us today. Sorry, Jennifer.
No, I was just gonna say it's pretty incredible. Like when you get plugged in, I mean, of course, there's always work that has to be done, but you don't have to. You don't have to work as hard, and you really get to live life while you're still working, rather than being away from your home or your family, for a dedicated amount of hours and missing out on so much.
Yeah. It's really nice because when you go to work, it's always, when you go to a job, it's always an active income. You have to work for your money.
Yeah.
You have to go in there. You have to set goals. There's daily commitments. There's quotas. There's so much more stress and must do's when you have this active income and, a regular 9 to 5. And we have an active income as well, in a sense. I mean, we have to grow our business. We've got to build our foundation. But at the same time, we can sit back and, like you said, be with our families. And while we're with our families, it's running in the background and we're doing nothing but, game nights or going to the jazz club, Karen.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I was just, for the audience here, I was just telling these girls that Wade and I went to the jazz club last night for the very first time ever. And we're country music people. We're musicians too. Like we used to play in bars and pubs and festivals and that kind of stuff. And we write songs. And so it's not like we don't listen to other music. We listen to lots of other music, but it was the first time ever that we got to go to a jazz club. It was awesome. Oh, it was so good. Just so good to have that experience.
Is it like in the movies? Like, I don't know. I've seen movies about jazz clubs, but it might sound really dumb. But
well, it was kind of like that. But I feel so. We had reservations for the early show, so we had reservations for 5:30, and then it was funny because we actually had to get out. We had to be out of there by 7:30 because there was another show. And we went for dinner too. So, we were kind of on our last course of dinner after 7:30 already. So we were sort of wrapped out. But next time we'll book the reservations for 7:30. And they say that the later show is very much better. But I enjoyed the early show too. Like it was really good. Just the atmosphere. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I didn't realize they had jazz clubs. Like, I might be really naive, but I've never heard of one around here. And same with like line dancing. Where did all the line dancing? I love line dancing. Where did all of those places go?
Well, for anybody who's watching, we live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Wade and I do, and Calgary's a big city, so. I would imagine that anything that you could think of, you could probably find to go and do here. And we were raised in the country. So, those kind of experiences are brand new for us. So yeah, it's like a new world.
Yeah. I suppose, just as with anything, Google it, right? Just that's the rule of thumb in our business. If you can't figure it out, Google it first.
It's kind of funny because although, like I said very clearly, I'm a country musician and country music is my thing. But every year at Christmas time, Kenny G starts playing in my house in the music. I just Bluetooth Kenny G and blast it, and everybody in the house at Christmas time. The kids used to roll their eyes when it was Kenny G time.
Wade says you still have straw in your boots.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh, I love that.
There's a few other things too.
So, is that one of your goals checked out of 2021? Hitting up a jazz club, and now you've added it to 2022.
Well, what? I'll tell you what, Charlene. I don't think there's anything that I don't think there's much of anything that we would say no to as far as experience in life. Well, there is. I mean, I'm not going to jump out of a plane. That's for darn sure. And I'm not going to go bungee jumping or anything like that. I'm too old for that. But I'm not saying that I'm too old for anything else. And, that's actually one thing when it comes to online too. Lots of, we hear lots of people say, oh, I'm too old to learn new things. Well, you know what? I'm 56 and Wade is 54. and we're never too old to learn new things. And this really isn't hard. But when it comes to living life, Wade and I agree on everything. You know, if I have an idea, he's all up for it. If he has an idea, I'm generally all up for it.
Except for bungee jumping.
Then no, you know, and like, yeah. But I mean, if it comes to trying a new thing, like going to a jazz club or, you know, trying anything, we're always up for that, because we only get this one shot in life.
Yeah.
And that was also why we decided to work online, because we were tired of having somebody else control our time. Like, you know, we couldn't even go see our kids. Our kids are all grown up. We have 5 kids between the two of us in our blended family, and 3 grandchildren, and they're scattered across the province of Alberta. And so it's a good long drive before we can go see them. And you know, our jobs before were always controlling our schedule, and we couldn't get it together. We didn't even see the grandkids for over a year at one time. And you know, you guys have kids that are growing, you know how fast they grow. So then when we saw them after a year, we're like, Wade said, we're never, ever, ever letting this happen again.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, that's the whole idea, is we control our time. We go where we want to go, and we get to work wherever we go. And Jennifer, you're right here. Right now, you're working while you're driving down the road to go see family.
And I'm too short for the visor, so the sun's in my eyes.
You need to sit on a couple of phone books. Yeah, the convenience that this business has is definitely one of the biggest benefits, right? Especially for families. Anybody really with a chaotic schedule, or, you know, trying to work in between multiple jobs. I know for us, this business, I do it when the kids are sleeping. My kids are very much a part of it. I know Jennifer and our kids are now friends, and they're, you know, the boys are 9 and 10 years old, and they talk about the business, and they talk about becoming entrepreneurs. And she's got a few stories of when, you know, my little guy goes over to her place and spends the night, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to make money and become entrepreneurs. And oh, did we lose her? Oh, we might have lost her. Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, it trickles down. It has this beautiful. Oh,
incredible.
There she is.
Take my son to his activities. Oh, when I take my son to his activities in the city, because we live out in the country and we go into Grand Prairie for his activities because we're homeschooling. He's involved in some martial arts and self-defense and stuff like that. I just take my laptop or my phone and go over to the coffee bistro and plug into their Wi-Fi, and I can still work in that time frame while he's still, you know, plugged into what he's doing, and we're not missing out on anything, right?
Yeah. And we have a nice little team here in Grand Prairie now. Like and none of us are connected financially, but we all get together for coffee. And I love that about our community. I mean, we all support one another. And, you know, I know Wade and Karen, last year when you guys were camping, and the year before, you just throw up in our community, hey, we're going to be here tomorrow. Anybody around? And we're going to be here on Monday. And people come out of the woodworks just to welcome you into their home and into their life, and to get together and get to know you.
You know, it's funny because, you know, we think about that a lot. When you are I guess I'm talking past tense for us, right? Back before we were working online, when we had a regular job, like when you're in a negative situation and you're around people who are sort of crabby all the time and grouchy, then you become more crabby and grouchy yourself, right? And like I mean, we talk about this business support community all the time and how much we love it, right? And how people become family to us that are working online, like people who we'd never ever have met before if it wasn't for this. And, you know, just to let your audience know, I mean, this is a global community. We're, you know, there's people all around the world, and we've met, you know, I remember one day we talked to people from 5 different areas in the world in that one day. And and the thing is, it's not just talking to people. It's not just connecting business-wise. Like everybody is so everyone is focused on the same thing. Everyone is focused on a better culture of life, a better way for their family, and a positive mind. And when you surround yourself with people like that, then life does shine more. And yeah, like there's just no question about that. When people are working hard to make their lives better, and when you're part of seeing it happen, life is damn good, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That takes me back to the webinar last night, is some of the stories, of course, that we heard from the panelists, and we kind of talked about that, and they shared all that kind of stuff. It was so much fun to hear all the different stories of like their journeys and stuff, and where they've come, and their why, like their deep whys of what makes them push so hard, and seeing them reach those goals and really to achieve what they're wanting in life for a better future for not just themselves but for their families. Like, that's what it's all about.
And Jennifer, I'm so proud of you for doing that webinar last night.
Yes.
I know for you, that was a huge thing in 2021 that you wanted to be a part of that. And so what a kickoff to the new year and an end to this year, to step so far out of your comfort zone and step into that role. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. And I like to set myself, sorry, Karen.
No, I was just saying congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, I set myself like a little bit bigger goals each time, and then when there's always that voice in your head of like trying to find like a million excuses of how can I get out of this after I've signed up for it. But once you accomplish it and once you actually do it, it's pretty rewarding in so many ways. Like that boost of confidence, like you feel like you can just conquer anything after that. And then it just takes you to the next step, right?
Next up, our community training. Are you going to jump onto the masterminds? Oh, I think we lost her again. Yeah, definitely.
We all know what it's like to be driving down the highway.
Yeah. No, one of the things I would like to do in 2022 is definitely, I help out in the background on our training site committee. But at some point I'd like to branch out a little more if I can, like Jennifer, and step outside my comfort zone. But it terrifies me a little bit, but it's nice because we don't have to do it. And when you're ready, we have all this support around us. So, oh, there she is.
Absolutely.
And
Darlene, you're going through in and out of service a little bit too now. You guys aren't going to leave me hanging here by myself, are you?
You're going to take on the show by yourself.
Yeah, 2022 is going to be incredible. In a lot of ways, though, ladies, if you look back at 2021, I thank our lucky stars so much that we weren't working in traditional jobs. I'm so grateful that we ended up going to our own online business, because all through 2020 and 2021, things were a lot easier on us because we were already working from home,
Yeah.
And one of the things that I remember hearing not that long ago, actually on one of our business masterminds, was the online space is 5 years is like dog years in the real world,
Yeah.
And it's like that for progress and technology, but it's also like that for income.
Yeah.
We worked for probably 40 years at our traditional jobs and felt like we never got anywhere. But here we are, like Wade and I, 4 years later in our online business, and we're successful and seeing a bright future. We never would have had that in our traditional jobs. We were beating our heads against a brick wall, it seemed.
Yeah, I recently we just had this conversation, I think it was with Mark and Glenda, and before this business, you couldn't really see the future. Like for me, I couldn't see where the future was going. I couldn't make a plan for the future, or make a plan for my kids. There wasn't really any hope, I guess. You know, it was just getting through today and paying the bills today and making sure there was groceries in the cupboard today, because who knows what tomorrow brings, right? But now we have this whole entire life ahead of us, and this all these doors opening, and it's an amazing feeling to actually have hope for the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, you put it exactly right, Charlene. Like Wade and I, you know, there we were in our early 50s, and you know, retirement kind of around the corner. I mean, so many times people will talk about retire or, you know, freedom 55, and we're like, freedom 55? Like back then we're going to be 130 before we retire, and even then it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened comfortably, you know.
Yeah.
And for us now, like we see it all unfolding, and we see this beautiful picture that we're creating ourselves. And not only that, but you know, for us, I mean, we watched our parents struggle their whole entire lives while they built the living that they did for us, and it was great. You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, we respect our parents for that.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, that's all they ever did was work. And you know, now, I mean, just the other night, my son and his wife and our 3 grandchildren showed up here just for one night because they were on their way to Banff to go snowboarding. We sat up and we played cards and, you know, spent time with them. We spent time with them over Christmas time. And we stayed an extra couple days when, you know, if we had other jobs, we would not be doing that. But we made up our own minds, you know, and we did it on the fly. We were like, okay, no, let's just stay an extra day. And that's kind of part of the whole idea, is to live your life, right?
Yeah. I recently saw a quote, and it said, what was it? Something along the lines of, when I'm on my deathbed looking back on my life, I'm not going to wish I worked more.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, when I'm laying on my deathbed, I'm going to want to know that I spent every ounce of life living my life, especially because the deathbed could be tomorrow. It could be a year from now. It could be 30 years from now. We don't know, you know?
So
it
true.
comes down to time.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlene, I saw something that you wrote too. You know, children spell love Time.
It's my new favorite.
Yeah, and I saw that the other day, and I thought, isn't that the truth? Like, you know, even now with our adult kids and with our grandkids, it's no different. You know, they are never going to remember what they got for Christmas, what we gave them for a gift. They'll never remember that, but they will always remember sitting around the table playing games, playing backgammon, teaching grandma how to play backgammon, and then kicking my butt.
I cannot grasp the concept of backgammon, so kudos to them.
They love it. They can beat me every time. But you know, it's so true. Like, I mean, I remember as a child, you know, and my upbringing was different, right? I mean, it was a different time back then when I was a child. But you know, there was also no time for games. We didn't play games back then. My mom's famous words were "get out of my way," right? I mean, she was busy because she worked full time, and she was trying to raise a family, and they had no money, and they had no relationship between the two of them, you know, and no relationship with the kids. And you know, I mean, as an adult, I wanted better for my life. I wanted different for my life, and hallelujah for finding it.
Yeah. Yeah, I continuously say that we live in a world that's so disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal with my kids is to make family a priority again. Like Monique just said in the comments, time is so precious.
Very true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just don't, it's the one resource we cannot get back is time. Anything that's gone, I mean, I'm 37 and that's 37 years gone. That's gone. I don't get that back, So, and I want my kids to know moving forward in life that you make life. You create the life that you want. There's ways to make that happen. You don't have to stay in a traditional 9 to 5 that's going to make you unhappy, or shift work, or something that's going to take away from family. And I don't want them to think that they have to sacrifice things that they love and that they're passionate about so that they can go to a job for somebody else.
Yeah.
And their goals blew me away. We sat down and we talked about our goals the other day, and I'm talking to my kids, and we're so in our team, and Karen and I, we have this team we call the Spark team, and our meeting on Monday is vision boards. And so I was talking to my kids because I want to do a vision board for each of them, and I wanted to do a vision board as a family, and my kids all kept saying business stuff. Well, our goal is to have this, and our goal is to have, this, and our goal is to make this much, and I'm like, but what's your goals? like, do you want more ice cream? Like, I don't care what it is, but like outside of the business. So for me, this business has just, I don't even know where I was going with this. I just got so excited. And but they know now, because I've been a part of this for almost 3 years, that there's something more out there. And that's the next generation that we're raising,
Yeah.
and then they're going to pass this on to their kids. And that's the wonderful thing about this business, is that it does leave a legacy in so many ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure does, Charlene. I mean, it actually does, like, leave the legacy of the business to your kids.
Yeah.
And, I mean, whether they choose to actively run that business or not, we have the opportunity to grow it to a point where they don't have
They don't
to.
have to.
Then it's almost, I mean, the only word I can say is that we kind of are creating our own pension plan within our business in some ways, right?
Yeah.
And it has to do with growing your business over time, and then you can make that happen. And the thing is, like before, in a traditional job, you had to work 25, 30 years in only certain jobs to be able to have a pension. Like Wade and I never worked a job that we were able to contribute to have a pension. And that's why I said retirement was looking like sucky for us, right? Because we didn't have a pension plan coming to us. All we would have was CPP. But now, in a short amount of time, like, okay, so we'll say in 3 to 5 years, you can build a business that basically, for lack of better words, also creates your own sort of pension plan.
Yeah.
Like, it was our saving grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I very much came into this with the mindset that if it takes me 5 years, it takes me 10 years to get where I want to be in this business, I'm still better off doing this, whether it's by itself or alongside working a regular job, than I am to be working a job for 30 years and ending up with nothing in the end.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
very much, Charlene.
I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not going anywhere.
And plus, we get to spend time with you and your family, which, again, I mean, coming back to this community, that's why people are happy. That's why people are supportive of each other, because, there's no competition.
Nope.
All it is, we get to shine, but we get to help others shine.
Yeah.
And when you see others shine in this world and see how that ripple effect changes people all around you, you want more of that.
There was a quote in our community floating around not that long ago, and it was, I can't I can't compete against you because I want you to win too.
Yes.
I love
And
that.
yeah, and it is so true. And you see it every single day. I mean, even
That's
just
powerful.
right here, you know, with this Go Live, and this was Jennifer's idea. This is Jennifer's baby, and she asked if I would join her, and now we're both meeting people every Friday. We have a lineup of people for 2022 already that strangers, complete strangers that we don't even know. We've got the first 2 or 3 months pretty much booked. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible.
And isn't it cool that now those complete strangers will be part of your friend circle?
Yep.
You know, like, and that's the cool thing is that, you know, when you meet people within the business, there's so many people that have so much in common.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you mentioned earlier, Charlene, your why. And for people who don't understand what that term is, basically it's just that. Why do you do the things you do?
Yeah.
So our why for reaching out of our comfort zone and starting an online business. We all have individual stories for why we did that.
Yeah.
But I would say that almost everybody has something in common, and that one common denominator is time.
Yeah, exactly.
We all want more time and we all want more money. And thankfully, we get to have that. We get to have both the best of both worlds with working online. And I mean, you know, you guys have probably addressed this before with your audience, but you know, we all understand that there's a lot of crap online.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
We felt that way too when we started. We were like, "What is this real thing? Is this? Are we gonna get scammed? Are we gonna get, you know?" But the fact is, look at this screen. You know, Jennifer almost are right around the 4-year mark. Myself, right around the 4-year mark. Charlene coming up on the 3-year mark.
Yeah.
Our families, you know, Jennifer's family in the vehicle. Charlene's kids can't wait to you know run their own business. Like, you know, we wouldn't be still here all these years later. I mean, we'd be gone. We don't go for that kind of stuff either. You know, we're just regular everyday people, just like you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, she froze for me. So, with your goals in mind for 2022, where do you guys see yourselves going personally, professionally? Like, how do you see your 2022 year? What's your like? I'm gonna be kick ass. I'm gonna do this.
Well, there's so many things, Charlene. You know, I mean, everything is all encompassing for us: business, life, family. Everything kind of goes into one big happy bubble for us because we can do it all at the same time. Our biggest goal of 2022 is so we used to live full time in an RV. We did that for a year and a half, and we traveled wherever we chose to go, and of course took our business wherever we wanted as well. But I'll tell you, it was a little bit of a small RV. It was a 28-foot holiday trailer, and we lived in it full time. And in Canada, that's not the most comfortable thing. So our big goals this spring, like right now, that's the plan. The wheels are grinding, and we're moving forward and moving forward. Is a big motorhome, and so that by about March of this year, we're probably going to have one locked in.
Ooh.
And then we're going to just sell everything in our house, which we've done before. We're going to sell everything in our house and move into it full time. And we always say, wheels rolling, wheels rolling. And, you know, I remember too, when we did that before, we sold everything in our house and we had a great big garage sale. And we had neighbors coming over and saying, "Oh, I sure wish I could do that. Oh, that's my dream. I wish I could do that." And the whole time we're just like, "Well, you can.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you can do that. Like there's nothing stopping you except for you, right? Like I mean,
our our founders are always telling us, get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And it's true. There's nothing that holds us back more than ourselves and the fear that we place on ourselves.
But I'll tell you, Charlene, though, further to what you asked about that for 2022, like, you know, like Charlene mentioned, Wade and I are her direct mentors. And of course, she's a mentor herself. And the whole idea behind that is that you have somebody, when you decide to start your own business, you have somebody directly that you can contact for help. And, you know, to be your partner, to know that somebody's always got your back, right? But it's more than that. And the thing is, Wade and I are mentors and coaches. So we have a coaching team, which is, you know, Charlene and a whole bunch of other people. And, you know, believe it or not, one of the very, very best things about this business is when you get to be a part of other people changing their lives. And, you know, there's no feeling like that. Like, you know, I'll kind of equate it to the same feeling as, you know, when you have children and you see them taking their first steps or saying their first word or, you know, getting a good report card or graduating from college and getting a good job and having a family, like all the things that parents are so very proud of with their kids. And you know that feeling where it gives you goosebumps and it makes your heart pound and your chest puff up, and you know you're all so excited and so proud for your kids. But it's the same thing when you're a coach and a mentor. It is the exact same thing. You get the goosebumps and you get teary-eyed and you get like just so overwhelmingly proud when people change their lives for the better, when you see people succeeding around you. And honestly, Charlene, that always, right from the day one when we started our business, we dreamed of doing that. We dreamed of helping people do that. And now we get to do that. We get to do that on a daily basis. And 2022 is going to be explosive. And to us, like, that's just like, it's like we're waiting to go to Disneyland, you know, like we're just like, oh my God, we're so excited about what's to come, right? And to see people change their lives for the better every single day is really, really good for our heart.
Yeah, I agree 110%. I helped a newer business owner set up her business page yesterday, and she's local. So we got to go out for coffee, and we sat for 3 hours just going through our training and helping her and talking about life. And it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
What about you, Jennifer? You're getting blinded over there.
I'm like putting my hand up like is it my turn now?
It's your turn.
No, this year has really taken me to like new levels for really working on myself, like taking myself out of my comfort zone in so many different ways that I thought I was in a good place, but I needed some work on. And I recognize that. So going into 2022, I am extremely excited to be there like 110% and really just watch what unfolds as it goes along. Like I have some big goals set, and I know that I'm going to crush them and surpass them. I feel it, I know it, and it's already in the works of happening. So it's really exciting.
You feel it, you know it, you see it.
That's awesome, Jennifer.
You know what? I actually really don't honestly know. I really want to focus on the foundation of my business. And I really want to continue to help within our community. Being on the training site committee is really important to me. And my cat keeps coming in here. I just want my kids to know that, and not just this year, but every year, that everything is possible.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to pass that on to absolutely anybody who will listen, that absolutely anything out there is possible. And no matter what's going on in your life, you can get through it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yes.
it.
100%.
That's what I go back to when we originally started this business, and the day that my previous boss, it was the day my sister passed away, and he sat down with me and he said, "Can you go to work today?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, can't somebody take care of your sister's children? Can't somebody else take care of your sister's children?" I said, "No." That was the day that I decided that something needed to change. And now I went back and I saw him a couple months ago, and he's like, "Would you like to come back?" I said, "Absolutely not." He's like, "We need quality." I said, "Well, thank you for recognizing that in me now 4 years later, but it's too late."
Yeah.
And I go back to that, and I really focus in on, my family and our time together, and life being way too short. You never know what's going to happen moment to moment, and really just living life to the fullest. Like both Joel and I, our dads worked so hard, and they both passed away at a very young age. Like my dad was 1 month to his 50th birthday, and Joel's dad was just a little over 50, and they our memories of them are them being gone at work all the time, so we wanted to do something different to change that around for our life and our children's life, our grandchildren's life, and it's all in the making.
It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it
Sometimes,
is.
you just got to get out of your own damn way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we are at the 41-minute mark, almost 42. Karen, before we go, do you have any advice for anyone out there feeling lost or not sure where to go right now, business or otherwise, sitting on any fences? What would you tell them?
Well, I guess it's kind of more of a spin-off of what Jennifer was just talking about right now. Like, you get to you get to grab the reins of your life. And if you decide to stay stuck in the ruts of, regular employment or a job that you hate, then that's a decision you make for yourself. But, in my lifetime, we, I mean, again, I'm 56, so we go back to black and white TV in the early days, and then the color TV, and, learning about a microwave oven, and going from 8-track tapes to cassette tapes to CDs to Bluetooth to all of a sudden we have, there was a lot of changes in the last few years, but the fact is we roll with that. We roll with that all the time, and you got to be prepared for change, because change equals progress, and progress is what we all want. Like it or not, moving forward in life happens.
Yeah.
So grab the reins and drive the car. Go drive it the way you want to go, instead of having somebody else take control. And that's the idea behind the online space. So, when it comes to advice, I mean, these ladies here, Jennifer and Charlene, they're going to have their website right up on this live stream interview. You can go right to their page and you can see a website. It's as simple as clicking that website and watching the complimentary webinar. There's no cost to watching that webinar and getting the information for yourself. And we will still say, and we will always say, that 90 minutes of time is the best time we ever spent. There's only one regret that we have, and that's 100%. That we didn't start sooner. And
nothing changes if you change nothing, right?
Exactly.
I always tell people, I'm told all the time too, like if you don't vote, you can't complain.
Yeah.
So if you choose to not move forward in life, and like you said, stay stuck in your rut, then.
Well, the thing is, I mean, let's think about it. The internet is still a baby, really. And 20 years ago or 10 years ago, we didn't even really have the opportunity to have this kind of a life and build this kind of a business.
Could you imagine doing this on dial-up?
Well, But also, you know, again, coming back to that idea of skepticism, like think about it. When the telephone was first invented, there was skepticism. When a microwave oven was first invented, there was skepticism. There has been skepticism with every new thing out there forever. It's
And there
part
always will be.
yeah, there always will be. It's part of growth. It's part of change. And so, you know, again, it's all up to every individual. If they choose to stick in the rut, then that's where they will always be. So we chose not to do that. We choose to live a life that we design.
Yeah.
And it's available out there for everybody. So they just
And if
have to
anybody ever wants to get out of their rut, we're all here waiting to help you out.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Karen, for coming on with us today. I guess, Jennifer, is your arm getting tired with the selfie stick?
No, it's not too bad. Actually, it's not too bad. It's just where the sun is with me.
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining because it's beautiful.
Aw. Well, thank you everyone for coming on today and joining us and all your comments and interaction. And thank you, Karen, for coming on. And I, off the top of my head, cannot remember who we have on for next week. So you'll have to stay tuned to our pages. Do you remember, Jennifer?
Talia's on.
Okay, it's Talia Zem. So she was supposed to come on a few weeks ago and she was unable to join us. So she's going to try again. So that's an exciting one you don't want to miss. And yeah, thank you so much again, Karen. And
Thank
we
you.
hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
You. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. And go kick some goals into high gear and don't let anything stop you this year. Bye.
Goodbye to 2021 and yes to 2022.
Yes, bring it in. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.